Hey guys, it's Mr. Danish, and today we're going to take a look at a 1 versus 1 on a Ghost Lake map. I played against the red player called something weird, Legky, so we'll just call him EG. And yes, I'm the blue player and I command the Byzantines, and he was the red player as I mentioned, and he commands the Franks. And we both have a really slow normal start, I suppose. I just did what I usually do: build two houses, get my sheeps, bring two in the center, make my villagers go in one of them, and let the next one be close to them so they are prepared, and then make the rest stand in a little flock so they don't get eaten all at the same time and rotten up. And I immediately used my scout to take all the other sheep that was around. I think there was some here, and I also took those on the ice. As you can see, there's 4 sheep on the ice, and he also got quite a lot. But yeah, that's one of the benefits of Ghost Lake. There's always sheep on the ice for some reason. I don't know if you take the realistic glasses on. I don't think you would find sheep on the ice, but you know, it's good for this game. Anyway, it's a really slow start, nothing special. Yeah, as you can see, I got quite a lot of sheep now. And as you can see, now there's a lot of chaos. My villager tries to take them, but so they run around, and then he starts to kill all my sheeps. And yeah, so that's I just lost 6 sheep there. That was really bad, and I was luring a boar in the same time, so it was really confusing. He was killing all my sheep. My shepherds were, you know, calling on the sheep or whatever they do, and I was luring a boar at the same time. So yeah, a lot of confusion, and I that was a major setback. But yeah, it's not crucial because I got the 8 standard sheeps that you always have. You always start with 4 in a flock, and then there's 2 separate in the area around you. Or well, that's the basic. Anyway, as you can see, I built my first lumber camp because I'm the Byzantine, so I have really cheap trash units. That means spears and skirmishers, and normally I don't have so many on bears on bushes, sorry. Um, uh, but since I have no sheep and or any boars in uh, in the area, I go for the bushes. It's a really slow source of food, so I decide to instead of have a lot of people on berries or the bushes, to have a lot of villagers on wood, so I can make farms. As you can see, I start with the first farm here, and yeah, and that turned out to be a good idea. Because that's the only reason why I have a lot of villagers on berries now is because I needed some food just to make the villagers that could go on wood so I can make farms and such. So that's my plan for now. Meanwhile, EG is yeah, enjoying all the sheep he got, and he's already collecting gold, and that can only mean one thing, that he's going for a fast castle. He's also hunting deer, so he's probably in the transition soon to feudal age. Otherwise, yeah, that's a little weird. But yeah. So I'm feudaling now. As you can see, I do not have a lot of resources. Whoops. There we go. But it's alright. I only need wood and food for yeah, for my units, so that's what I'm going to make a lot of. And what you didn't see was his scout came down here and he saw my spearman, who actually killed him. So he said rushies. So he kind of knew what I was going to do, but it's kind of obvious when you play the Byzantines, you kind of have to rush. And well, I was actually thinking of doing a fast castle, but yeah, that was for a very short time because yeah, I could quickly see on my economy that that wouldn't work. So anyway, as you can see, more on wood and lots of farms already compared to what I usually do. I sent off the first soldiers. Yes, and my scout is patrolling this area just to make sure he's not building anything because it's that's something I saw in the beginning when we started playing, that I had a lot of open area. Oops, sorry. Uh, so I think since he said the Russies thingy, I thought he was going to go for a fast castle, and I was right. Um, so I decided to go for this gold mine, which is the closest to him. So therefore, I assumed that he was, you know, mining it already. We also have two gold mines here, but yeah, this one's closer. And as you can see, he has a battle where he uses his villagers, and all the farms are dying, and it's kind of stressful. But I managed to get them, more or less, like four spears on the woman. And here I actually do some micromanagement. I see she's low in life and go for one, and he's also low in life, and here I make a chain. So this one will be the survivor in the end, but he's also low in life. And here comes a villager with fresh life and a spearman, so I decide to retreat. And meanwhile I have sent some more soldiers up, more skirmishers, because they when they are massed, it's really good against spearmen because they don't have a lot of fierce armor. So but in general they are not really strong against anything but archers. So another battle is about to go on. Yeah, I decide to also do some micromanagement and leave my city. I go for the archers with my skirmishers so they don't deal a lot of damage while I focus on these guys. I go up to the hill to get the bonus. That was a good idea. As you can see, I one-shotted him. And I go for his gold mines again. Gold miners, sorry. And there's an archer. Nothing, he's not really a threat. And here I just let them run loose, I suppose. I was probably busy down in my city. That's another thing I did different in this match. I was focusing a lot more on economy than I usually do. Normally I'm just, you know, I'll, yeah, I'll make it some way. So, but this time I focused a little more. Lots of units, and he writes nice rush, and it's like a question. So I wasn't really sure what he meant, like if it was sarcastic or if it was really real. But I actually thought it was a quite good rush. To be honest, I got a lot of his villagers on his gold mine. And here you can see I took all of his villagers out. And here I get too close to the town center, but I managed to pull them out just in time. And go for his villager instead. So I was harassing him a lot, taking, you know, tearing apart his economy. Also, this is a lot of wasted wood. As you can see, a lot of empty fields. So yeah, that was mission accomplished, more or less. And I sent more troops again, just to make sure to keep the pressure, so he can't use this gold mine, or so he can't use the farms. That was actually my goal. I was thinking of going for his wood at some point, but then he turned castle, and I was looking for a stone, and then I realized it was in there, so that was like two flies with one smack, or whatever it's called. And but since he's French, his castles aren't that expensive, so yeah, he's going to build a castle in a second, which prevents me from sorry sorry from harassing him too much. And here I didn't really see it until it was too late. For some reason I can't turn the fog of war on, so you can see what I can see only. But so this will do for now. But as you can see, he had put all his villagers to get their castle because he can't afford losing his wood and stone economy. Because if he loses his wood, he will lose all his farms and therefore all his food. Sorry, and that's really important. So. And down here I just keep producing these trash units. It's fine with me if these die because they're not really expensive, so I can, you know, it doesn't hurt my economy as much as if it was knights or something. And here I turn castle. Yes, I assumed he was going to make knights now because he's French and yeah, they have good knights. So I made some more pikemen than skirmishers, and that was a good idea, even though he didn't make a lot of knights really. Now just some basic harassment. And here he builds another castle because I go for his wood economy. I just sneak behind it, and he got some throwing axemen, and when I saw those I immediately retreated. Not because it's expensive units to lose or anything, but because they are really strong and they can really take out my soldiers quickly. And here I use my other soldiers to harass his gold miners. So as you can see, I keep a constant pressure on him. And here he comes with his stupid throwing axemen, and they kind of take out my little squad there. But my other squad is coming, and I think, yeah, I've sent some more soldiers up to aid them. And these normally in late games they are really bad because archers can, you know, quite easily take them down because they have so short range. But in early game against trash units they are really good. So never underestimate them. Always use them if you're French in early game and you're against a feudal Russia. That's a really good move. As you can see here, I kind of sacrificed my pikes and used all my skirmishes on the throwing axemen. So it was you know, a little micromanagement again. So here, as you can see, I have a lot of villagers because I was planning on building a base closer to him, so they didn't have to run very far. As you can see, I have a lot of wood, so I could do that. I'm low on food, but that's going to change because I changed my mind. Instead of building a military base, I decided to use them all on farms, so I could get my economy up and going. So kind of defensive, but still it's better to have a good economy so you can resist an attack and such. And I also built a castle just in case he's going to counterattack, because now I'm quite weak and he's probably going to make a lot of throwing axemen, or that was what I thought. But yeah, so that's basically it. And now I go for his gold miners again. Now I upgraded my skirmishes, or they were upgraded before, but I think, can't remember. But yeah, so just a little fight here. I got some knights in the back because I was thinking that he might show up with those throwing axemen, and as far as I know, I wasn't really sure because it's quite seldom I play them, the throwing axemen. But as I recalled it, knights are pretty good against them. And here I know I attacked his pikes with, or my, you know, charged my knights into his pikes, but because I was in so big numbers I would have taken them out anyway, and that's something he couldn't afford, so he retreated. And as you can see, my economy is getting quite good, so I'm soon to build a big army. So yes, and here he writes I'm pretty good, and well, I can only say he's too. So it was a really entertaining game. I must admit it was the best I've had in ages. So yeah, here I start my big army, as I mentioned. I make some cataphracts also just because you know, they are strong and they have a bonus against infantry, so I thought that was a good idea. But also because it has a psychological